you just have to believe that at a point the lights will shine. And okay, well, so what's this all about? Gary Johnson, who's he? Where did he come from? Well, actually, he was the first candidate to announce, and I don't know. No, it's a little disheartening. I mean, really is disheartening. I never thought I would be left off of the debate floor. I always thought I'd have a seat at the debate. I mean, what are the dues that you have to pay to have a seat at the table? You guys had to have seen the poll about all the presidential candidates and the favorability in their own states. I'm the only candidate running for president that has a positive favorability in their own state. And what that says is that in the only state that knows who I am, and you guys are politic New Mexico. You know that the state's 2-1 Democrat. I mean, how does that happen? How does that happen that I should be popular having pinched pennies the whole time I was in office? Well, what the polls overwhelmingly say is that there's no favorite. What the polls are overwhelmingly saying is that Romney can't get above his 17%. And 17%, I would say, isn't strong, it isn't weak, it's just name familiarity.
Think America's looking for a cheapskate?
Yes, I do. I definitely do. Air Force One needs to be grounded. This whole government cutting stuff needs to start at the top.
You caught a bunch of hell for not signing the marriage pledge.
No, just the opposite. No, I think that also, we were the only ones to come out and blast that. We were the only ones to come out and say anything against it. I think that pledge is indicative of why the world distrusts Republicans. It's just a quintessential Republican statement that makes the rest of the world royal over Republicans.
Speaking of pledges, there's also another pledge: cut, cap, and balance.
I sign that. My issue with it is that I think it's just another one of these statements that if you sign it, then somehow you're indemnified from actually having to address the issue. And I would just go a lot further than what that pledge has to say. There's a lot of wiggle room in that pledge to basically put this off from making these hard choices. You're hearing a lot of talk right now about the fact that if we don't raise the debt ceiling, the market is going to crash, tank, just like it did in 2008. Well, if the market tanks, it's not going to be due to the inability of Congress to come to grips with the issue. It's going to be the fundamentals of the economy.
Richardson comes in, and
Sure,
it seems
sure.
like it's Christmas.
Sure.
We're buying choo-choo trains and everything else, and
Well,
now in retrospect,
and you know who filled up the Santa's bag? I mean, Santa came in and it was a full bag. Well, I'd filled up the bag for him. I did. No, there's we weren't spending money in the agencies. We were just banking it. So all the coffers were full. I didn't sign the last. I vetoed the last capital appropriation, so there's about $1.5 billion in the coffers when I left. Let's just talk about the train for a second. I mean, that train is a train that costs taxpayers $75 a ticket for everybody that rides on it. And I'm talking about capital costs, and I'm talking about operational costs that are not covered. And that was that way from day one. If you take state government employees, 12,000 when I started, 10,800 when I left, 16,500 with Richardson. I mean, that increased 50%. Is there any area of state government that's better in the last 8 years as a result of 50% more state employees? It's just a challenge.